The first female Prime Minister of the UK was Margaret Thatcher. She was the longest-serving Conservative Prime Minister and the first Prime Minister of the UK to be elected 3 times in a row.
Margaret Thatcher was a very controversial Prime Minister. Labour's Ken Livingstone called her the most loathed Prime Minister along with Oliver Cromwell in the last 1,000 years.
One of the most radical things that Margaret Thatcher is known to have done is the privatisation of British industries.
These are some of the different industries that were privatised. British Telecom, Cable and Wireless, British Aerospace, British Gas, British Steel, British Petroleum, British Airways.
Margaret Thatcher was an anti-trade unionist, and this played a big part in the closure of the coal mines. The British coal industry employed many people, though Margaret Thatcher wanted to close 20 pits. This caused the miners to resist, although the National Union of Mine Workers did not hold a strike ballot. This led to the miners holding a local ballot for the strikers, which forced the state against the miners. Many policemen were sent to match the number of miners, which caused absolute chaos. Margaret Thatcher was a very anti-trade union person and made it harder for the job-saving organisations to work in. This was a very anti-working class approach and put workers at risk of being taken advantage of by their employers. She did this by making strike ballots required by law, walkouts no longer possible from unofficial decisions made in a car park, flying picket and secondary action had been outlawed and made union assets at risk. This caused unions to prevent strikes in industry, which meant that much of their power had been lost. Margaret Thatcher introduced the right to buy, which allowed tenants in council housing to buy the property off the council. Although this was good to increase house ownership, this significantly reduced the amount of housing available to the council for those who need it most, and we are still suffering the effects of this awful move today. Although the right to buy was good for increased home ownership, the Thatcher government did not care about those who lost out and did not do enough to replenish the housing that was sold off.
Argentina had a dictator after a military coup and tried to seize the Falklands by force. However, Margaret Thatcher ordered her task force to recapture the Falklands.
Sir Galahad, a British ship, was blown up by Argentine forces. In this, 42 people died. This was Margaret Thatcher's worst nightmare. On the 25th of April, British troops took back their first island, the South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands. Then, on the 14th of June, troops entered Port Stanley and the Argentinians surrendered. In 1983, Margaret Thatcher won the election by a landslide. This was not only due to the amazing effort and bravery in Falklands, which showed her to be a strong leader, but also because the economy was much better off than it had been when she first started. The opposition, the Labour Party, was also in disarray, which meant that the only option was Margaret Thatcher.
At the Grand Hotel in Brighton, the Conservative Party conference was held when the IRA detonated a bomb and it left 5 people dead.
The end of Margaret Thatcher's time in office came at the beginning of the introduction of the poll tax.
Margaret Thatcher was mainly recognised for being the first female Prime Minister in England, and she completely altered the way the country was run by privatising many companies which compelled to pay for the facilities which were once free. Some of these were the railway, water companies and free milk. Therefore the name Margaret Thatcher, Milk Snatcher, was given to her. She was also recognised for her victory in the Falklands.
Margaret Thatcher has earned nicknames such as Margaret Thatcher and Milk Snatcher and the Iron Lady. When she died, the song from The Wizard of Oz, The Witch is Dead, went to number 2 on the charts. This shows that the British public's attitude to her is not very nice.